business.
We'll be back from the break. You're still watching Smart Means Business, and Joram Ssonko in here. And with the hour of 8, we kick it off with motivation time, and we start off with our business tip this morning. The tip says don't limit yourself. Many people limit themselves to what they think they can do. You can go as far as your mind lets you. What you believe, remember, you can achieve. So that is exactly what you need to have at the back of your mind. Don't limit yourself. Many people limit themselves to what they think they can do. You can go as far as your mind lets you. What you believe, remember, you can achieve. And now let's have a look at our business quote of this morning. Business quote is saying, logic will get you from A to B, imagination will take you everywhere. That logic will take you from A to B, imagination will take you everywhere. That is what the quote is saying this particular morning. That logic will take you from A to B, while imagination will take you everywhere. So what you imagine is definitely what you will achieve at the end of the day. We've got only 2 minutes of 8 o'clock now. Let's talk social media this time round. Makerere University kickstarted off its graduation, which is the 73rd of this particular one. The institution is 100 years old as a learning institution. But of course, when it comes to graduation, this is the 73rd of that same case. And students will definitely be graduating for a full week as the graduation kickstarted off yesterday till Friday this very week. Today is the 14th. So roughly that will be around the 17th when the graduation ceremony will be getting done. And of course, the university continues to usher in a number of fresh graduates into the employment space, into the job market to compete for the few jobs that are available. The catchword is few. And of course, do remember, it is not a mandate to the university to create these jobs, but of course to equip students with the ideas to set up their own in case it all fails, or in case the chance of getting a white-collar job does fail. So pretty much this is basically the same issue as it is up here this time round. So as we speak of Makerere University's 73rd graduation, we start with Fahad Nyonjo King at King Fahad _17 says, now versus very soon, hashtag Mark 73rd graduate. And so to him, currently it is felicitations, but later on it is hustle after hustle. Esau at Esau Matsiko on Twitter says, I've never been excited in my life like the day I graduated. So I congratulate all the Mark 70, the hashtag Mark 73 graduates. It takes a lot of sacrifice, patience, and persistence and hard work to make it to the end. Congratulations once again. And he has a picture in there that says Mark 73rd grad. Rachel Packworth, who is at PR Worth, says, I can't wait to make my mama proud just like they've made it. It takes a lot of sacrifices, patience, determination, and hard work for anyone to be in that space. At Rachel Packworth at Paroth in there. Now, the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program at Makerere at MCF Makerere says we congratulate all our 294 hashtag MCF scholars who are graduating during the hashtag Mark 73rd grad ceremony scheduled to take place from 13th to 17th Feb 2023 at Makerere. Congratulations indeed. Chief at Brian Osenda _K says, and I won't get tired of tweeting this. For those that are not graduating for one reason or another, do not worry. Success delayed is not success denied. Your time will surely come, and when it does, every bit of it will be worth it. Hashtag Mark 73rd grad. That is the tweet. It's all love from Brian Osenda K, who says, for those who haven't graduated, it is not the time. Now, that picture on the screen did make some good rounds on social media yesterday, and basing on someone who had his Subaru legacy, all written graduate, it is finished. So Toko at Godwin Toko says, congratulations to all the graduates of the mighty Makerere. It is your day. Do all you want to celebrate it, and let no negative forces stop you from having a blast. We can go back to addressing the unending problems of Uganda like unemployment rates next week. Hashtag Mark 73rd grad. He did put it right. So this time around, this week is for celebration. It is celebration because of coming to the end of a journey that does seem tough and stressful for many. Now, on the other hand, Makerere University's CHAS says that, dear graduates and invited guests, as you prepare for the forthcoming graduation ceremony, which kicked off 13th to 17th February and will end 17th February, please note that there are items prohibited during the 73rd graduation ceremony. More details below. Now, those are some of the graduation ceremony items prohibited, including dangerous weapons like guns, firearms, phones, pocket radio, cameras, video and still cameras not allowed at the graduation grounds, alcohol and cigarettes, cell batteries and chemicals, canned food and drinks, bottled drinks and backpacks, all are not allowed in there. Now, the Academic Registrar's Office at Makerere University also tweeted that day 2 will be graduates from, day 2 will definitely have graduates that will be from, if you look at graduates from the College of Education and External Studies, that is CES, and then College of Agriculture and Environmental Studies, that is abbreviated as CAES. And from us, we wish to congratulate each one of you in advance. And of course, even Wednesday, there will be other graduates from the College of Business and Management Sciences, College of Computing and Information Sciences, College of Veterinary Medicine and Animal Resources, Biosecurity. So on that list, you can easily see where your child fits and if you are a student, when you will be getting your graduation. But I think for now, you already know when the graduation will be staged. But as a matter of fact, here on Smart 24 TV, we continue to congratulate each one of you, of the students at Makerere University, for making it this time round to a journey that does come to an end. And of course, the journey of learning never comes to an end, but of course, you have to celebrate every win that you possess. And it is the 73rd graduation ceremony at Makerere University. To all the viewers of Smart 24, part of this one, if you're a parent who are a student, congratulations. And of course, in as we speak of the same matter, I did mention yesterday that some of our team leaders or some of our team members from Smart 24 TV are part of this 73rd, which as well include Anthony Sebale, who does host The Point, and of course, Financial Markets. We do wish you so well, brother. He graduated yesterday from Makerere University. And of course, the other suspect on the list will be Martha Nimsima, graduating off tomorrow. And of course, that is part of the team here at Smart 24 TV. So not only are they driving business, but making sure that they are skilling their brains up there. And of course, this time around, now let's talk Uganda Airlines. Now, lately, last week, Airbus and Boeing went head-to-head in a battle for Uganda Airlines' order. And apparently, after a duel in 2018 for the supply of Uganda Airlines' long-haul fleet, that ended with Airbus A330-800 Neo carrying the day with an order for 2 aircraft. All these 2 largest aircraft manufacturers are back in the trenches, and this time for a potential order of up to 6 aircraft. And if you look at this, delegations from Airbus and Boeing were in Kampala last week to make pitches for their respective models as Uganda Airlines approaches decision time for a selection of the aircraft that will power its mid-range passenger and cargo fleet. The industry sources confirmed that at different times during past weeks, two teams from both manufacturing companies met with the Uganda Airlines management officials from key aviation stakeholder organizations such as the Ministry of Works and Transport, as well as sector regulator Uganda Civil Aviation Authority. And with this particular one, the Uganda airline urgently needs an aircraft to fill the gap between 76 Mitsubishi CRJ900 and 257-seat A330-800. Although the operational radius of the CRJ900 can, if you're to look at this one, although the airline urgently needs an aircraft to fill the gap between the 76-seat Mitsubishi CRJ900 and the 257-seat A330-800. The operational radius of the CRJ900 can cover the airline's envisaged African route network. It is severely weight limited, imposing a trade-off between loading passengers and baggage. Now, as we speak of this one, at stake for the manufacturers, that is between Boeing and that is, of course, Airbus, at stake is an order of up to 6 aircraft, 4 in the 100-plus seater category and 2 freighters, one with a capacity of 30 tons to serve regional routes and another with 60-ton capacity for the international market as of now. So that is what is at stake for the airlines as we continue to look at more of what is coming in. Now, the aircraft will be bought in 2 tranches with 2 passenger and a cargo planes coming in the short term, followed by another pair of passenger aircraft within a 5-year time frame. Now, sources familiar with the discussion say Airbus is offering its A321, but it was not clear which specific variant of the type it was pitching. Meanwhile, Boeing understood to have made presentations on all variants of its B737 MAX family for the airline to at least make a selection. Now, besides that, we are now going to look at a comparison between these 2 aircrafts if we are to look at how this is going to be done in regards to, in case any of it, in range and size. Now, let's look at range and size if the primary considerations are considered. So we look at the range, capacity, and the plane. Now, we start with the Boeing. Now, the Boeing family has got the Boeing MAX 7, which has a range in nautical miles of 3,850. That's 3,850 nautical miles in terms of the range it can go. Now, its capacity is 138 to 153 passenger seats. Then the Boeing MAX 8 has got a 3,550 nautical miles range with a capacity of 160 to 178 seats. Now, the Boeing MAX 8 has got a range of 3,550 nautical miles with a capacity of 167 to 183 passenger seats. Now, when you look at the Boeing MAX 10, it's got 3,300 nautical miles range of how far it can go with a capacity of 188 to 204 passenger seats. But when you look at the MAX, for example, the Boeing MAX 7 with 3,850 nautical miles range and 138 to 153 passenger capacity, and then the MAX 10 with a 3,300 nautical miles range, but with 188 to 204 passengers are, however, likely out of contention for now. So the MAX 10 and the MAX 7 by Boeing are likely out of contention for now because they are not secure. They are not yet secure by the US Federal Aviation Administration certification. So for now, the Boeing MAX family only has the Boeing MAX 8 and the Boeing MAX 9, of which the Uganda Airlines will definitely choose from. So the seating capacity of the Boeing MAX 8 is 162 to 178, and then MAX 9 is 167 to 183 in there. So when the Uganda Airlines management is choosing which planes to choose, that can be ideally something they would definitely consider. Now let's furthermore look at the Airbus. What does the Airbus have to offer to the Uganda Airlines? Now the Airbus did offer, apparently presented its A321 LR and A321 XLR And when you look at the Airbus A321neo, the range in nautical miles is 4,000, and their capacity is quite bigger, 240 passenger seats. Then the Airbus A321 LR with a 4,000 to 4,500 nautical miles range has the seating capacity of 220. Then the Airbus A321 XLR with a 4,700 nautical miles range will have a capacity of around 180 to 220 passenger seats in that space. So briefly, as you look at that, so that is what was presented in regards to that. And according to analysts, however, a big selling point for Boeing is scalability. Looking at an eventual fleet of 4 aircraft between Mach 7 and 9, Uganda Airlines would have more flexibility in managing capacity in response to varying market opportunities. But that will come at the price of fleet complicity and added training and tooling costs. At a minimum of 180 seats, the F321, that is the Airbus, could prove too big on some regional routes. So unless the Airbus will be used to at least head to destinations like Dubai, Mumbai, or London, you get to realize for the capacity of regional routes and of course the African routes, Boeing may be the better situation there. But well, besides that, it is up to the board and management of the Uganda Airlines to choose which plane manufacturer to utilize during this time round. And of course, the two continue to go head to head on who will be able to supply the 6 aircraft to the Uganda Airlines. Now let's head to further more updates this morning as we look at why the Kampala City Council Authority operate during busy days and hours and not weekends. This is a claim where most people are saying it is actually affecting the flow of traffic. But hey, I don't believe the Kampala City Council Authority had put it out there that in Feb they will be working towards implementing this particular move. And of course, during the weekends, because they are it is a government entity, then that means they are part of the public service. You have to expect the weekends to be free days or resting days for most of them. And now we have this particular update coming in from more views from Honorable Lillian Amba, who is the Woman MP Kitgum District, and Honorable Alan Natugonza, Member of Parliament, Bulisa District.
I believe that having read the letter, knowing that the content required her more than the minister, she should have appeared before the committee.
I agree, Honorable Chair. She will be shortly joining us.
We expect the ED anytime. Before I rule on that, I want to give an opportunity to other members to react. Probably if there is any other member who wants to react to my communication.
Chair, thank you very much. Whereas I do agree that it's very important that we have the ED here or the deputy, I think in the interest of time we can start as we wait for the ED to come in, because we are already late. We are meant to start earlier than this time. So for me, I'm of the view that we start as we wait for the ED.
To respect, you see why I'm observing. You heard and everybody saw on media when the ED was saying people are roasting her when she's doing her best work. People are criticizing, doing this and the other, yet they're on the right course. So we don't want other stories.
And sorry for that particular update, and I did call for a different one, but surely I will be giving you more from the verdict of Honorable Lillian Abba. But still, in regards to the KCCA, the question is, why is KCCA hesitant to give local companies contracts in regards to the work on roads? As some of the policymakers believe that this time around, the City Council Authority should think about giving the locals or the local farms these contracts, because at least if we are to push for the buy, you're going to build Uganda in that essence. And of course, if you're to look at the issue regarding the same matter, you would wish we should consider our own local people here to at least get off these contracts. And of course, we have Honorable Kabuye Fatogabye, State Minister of Kampala Metropolitan Affairs, giving a reason as to why it is so. And then Honorable Abed Bwanga, Member of Parliament, Chimanya, Kabonero Division, and Dorothy Chisaka in the same update from who is the Executive Director of KCCA, giving us a reason as to why KCCA does not look for the local companies in regards to the contracts that are being signed to maintain and work on the roads in the city. Let's have it.
They don't need KCC to go back and do the documentation. We have asked a question on behalf of the people of Uganda. Why are you giving all the contracts to Chinese? We have borrowed money. We are Ugandans who have borrowed that money. Why are you giving the contracts to Chinese? There is not even a Ugandan contractor in that work. That question you can answer. You need to tell us. Don't we have those who scale up? We need to hear that. We have asked you, what is the design for Kitezi? You don't need to go back. We have asked, what is the unit cost for this road? You have been in the news. The mayor is saying 1.9, 1. Trillion. That confusion. And cases, we are with you here. Tell us, what is the unit cost per kilometer in this project? So that the people of Uganda who are borrowing the money, they know. You don't need to go back and make a documentation on that.
The Chinese companies which have won these bids. These bids were, it was done through international bidding, and the whole world was available to bid for these roads. We used the procurement system put up by Uganda, by the Uganda government, and followed the tenets in the contract to the letter. And what came up, the people who qualified were about, I mean, there were not one company, there were more than 10 for each lot, because there are 5 lots, more than 10 companies for each lot of roads. And they went into evaluation, and the companies that won, they won as the best evaluated bidders. And it is not KCCA even at that stage, Honorable Chair, which chooses who has won. All these companies, the results are given back to the bank. Those results go back to the funding bank, and then the award comes afterwards. But so I'm trying to show that KCCA did not predetermine that we want Chinese companies to take these roads. However, there is a saving factor in our guidance that there is subcontracting under these contracts. And so far, even yesterday when we inspected, we have found that the companies that are doing the forward maintenance and other components are Ugandan contractors. So there is a window for Ugandan contractors to participate in this work.
I wouldn't say Chinese. The problem is that, one, we have two explanatory variables. One, the conditions given by the donors predetermine who to get almost the contract, because there were stringent conditions, especially in the past performances, which Ugandan contractors could not achieve. Then two, the PPDA laws, because these contracts being an internationally kind of funded projects, they are also opened to everyone in the world, and everyone is free to submit. And indeed, most of the companies which can qualify are international companies. Unfortunately, maybe Chinese come in and take a show or win these contracts. That's unfortunate and fortunate. But the most important aspect to me is the character and the capacity of our local contractors, because we somehow ring-fenced all our GOU funded projects. Funds especially we get from Uganda Road Fund, we normally give them to our local contractors under a framework contract, which we have. We have almost over 50 companies on the list. In December 2021, we awarded projects worth about 48 billion Uganda shillings to about 24 companies. But none of them, apart from one or two, the one who did the ring road, the Lubiri ring road, and then Nabulagara road, These are the only two people, actually, to be specific, Abubakar Technical Services and Sterling on Nabugabo and this one. These are the only people who have at least managed to achieve 80% of the works as given, because normally the road is now done, they're just working on the walkways and drainage and other things. But the rest of the contractors have just 20% on the way. You give them money today, they disappear. You go to apprehend them, they start telling you Gambanogo. But this is work. This is just something different from whatever. It's not relatively related. I don't want to know how many relatives you have in the government. I want you to execute my job. So such character cannot really help you get more jobs. Coming to these the international companies, they subcontract them. I fight with them. I even have some contractors who are supposed to do utility relocation. Most of them have been blacklisted because of the character and the performance. So our challenge is, besides capacity, which we can deal with because we want to build our own, but what are your character? How do you behave on the job? A Chinese will come and he has come, so he's here strictly to do his job. And he will execute your job and then he gets his money. And
oh, does it happen only in government entities though? Because you get to realize that most of the foreign investment companies actually getting these deals better than the local contractors here. Well, some of the other public officers that you will definitely ask and that don't want to beat around the bush sometimes will clearly tell you that our local contractors are not good at what they do. And sometimes that is why they are forced to give the money to international companies or international contractors. That is something I am not more conversant with. But of course, I did mention some of the public servants you will speak to, or those who actually work in positions that are around, that are supposed to be giving out these contracts. Anyway, as we're heading into the break, this time around, the markets on the Zap platform have officially opened. It's 27 minutes off. Now 8 o'clock, you're watching Smart Means Business. But of course, as the markets open on the platform, remember you can invest in government bonds and other securities. Star 292 hash is the USSD code that you can choose today and quickly invest in government bonds as possible as it can be. And of course, remember the amount of investment is not as much as you think it may be. It will definitely only be you to invest in these particular government bonds by using 15,000 Ugandan shillings or more. And remember, the market's fully closed on the weekends and on public holidays. Zabo, my money, my future. All that East Africa says, do something new. Well, what can you do today? Invest in these government bonds. Create room, give yourself the opportunity and the chances of investing and growing your investments. Zabo, my money, my future. All takes East Africa, do something new. After the break, I'll be heading straight to sports business, and of course, Barigye Andrew will be giving you the latest from the entertainment world. Good morning.